Hi everyone, so I'm at Sindra Motors Bangalore, the AMG Performance Center for most people, and I'm here to give you a little bit of a chat about the AMG Winter Drive experience I've recently had thanks to Sindra Motors and AMG India, or Mercedes India. It's been an absolute pleasure because we've got the opportunity to go to Sweden, literally northern Sweden, where we're literally about 5 or 50 kilometers away from the North Pole in a place called Arjeplog. Believe me when I say that, that's the most inhabited place. It's a city full of like 1,000 people. However, there's something special that happens there. In a place that's got lots and lots of lakes, I think 70,000 lakes in Sweden. So this one kind of basically freezes up in winter, where they turn that entire place into a racetrack on snow. You would first think most people are quite mad to do something like that. However, I wasn't. So we got the opportunity to go there and check this place out. Amazing, beautiful sceneries, and what do I say? We were there with Mercedes. Mercedes has a center in Arjeplog, which do driving training on snow. Different levels of the program, but nevertheless, what we went to do is an advanced course there. So we basically got to drive the A-Class, the brand new A-Class, the A45 AMG, the AMG GT, which has been sold here. I'm guessing it was the GTS, and the brand new AMG GT 4-door sedan. So first things first, we get there, we fly from, there are a bunch of people flying in from India to this event. There was I think 6 of us. We get there and we're treated, we have a drive from Arvidsjaur to Arjeplog. It's an hour drive. We get picked up in these Vianos that come, or V-Class Mercedes. We got water, everything there. We have an hour drive. It's some amazing scenery. Sadly, we never got to see any elks on the road or any reindeers, as you might know. We get to this place and this lodge there, it was seriously something I can't even explain. Temperature is like getting down to -20, which is pretty cool for most people. You can really feel it because the air goes really dry. Your skin starts drying, your hair starts drying, and gosh, really, you've kind of figured out why it's so uninhabitable to be in a place like that. But nevertheless, we get there to the AMG log, really cool. All of us have our own rooms, really beautiful place, and that's day one. We have a beautiful dinner. We get to meet all the instructors, really, really genuine people. Now, I've always said this earlier, Mercedes-Benz has had like the best customer service and hospitality. And I kid you not, out there in the middle of literally nowhere, Mercedes-Benz had like, again, the best hospitality ever. Okay, day 2, everything's nice and frozen. Seriously, like I wake up from my bed, everything is literally frozen. I don't know what's happening to my brain because right now it's frozen. Anyway, we get out, eventually have a breakfast, get a little bit of a briefing on what we're going to do for the rest of the day. So they explained to us that we've got a couple of different racing events, and then there's a process of elimination, so to speak. We all had lanyards and badges on us. So anyone who hits the snow and gets stuck ends up getting the G-Wagon to pull us out. And when that happens, there's a cost for it. So basically they punch our card and that's it. So then they pull you out. So there's all sorts of things. Things are getting a bit serious on day 2. Amazing fun. We get out to the lake, we drive the A-Class, the A45, we do slaloms, we do drift trainings, we do basic stuff. Then we swap into the C63. And we start doing drift training around this huge, massive circle. What's really interesting is they have this massive, massive lake, and they've actually recreated most of the really popular actual racetracks, what kind of miniature versions of that, on ice and on snow. So we were basically driving on Laguna Seca and I don't know, the Nordschleife and the Imola racetrack. So we had a bunch of racetracks that were set up there, which was genuinely a smaller version of the big thing. So after a seriously heavy day 1, we came back and then they were straight to the bar and we had a great time in the debrief. Day 3, obviously, again, all woken up nice and frozen. It's getting colder. I think today was -20 or something. So it was, I think, the coldest day of the event that we were there. Out there, no wasting time. We all get together, head out to a little lodge. They have a little workshop, AMG workshop, in literally the middle of nowhere, where they have a massive warehouse where they have all those cars that they drive on snow. Now these cars are kitted with special tires and special bumpers in the front. We get out there. Today we start with the AMG GT S 4-door sedan. Took those cars out. Honestly, a car's got so much power, like so much power, it's unbelievable. So we basically drive these cars from the warehouse to the lake, which is about a 15-20 minute drive. We get there and then off you go. So we're on it. They give us some competitions and we're literally out there bashing into the snow, having great fun. While you're at it, again, today we had amazing people in a group. Some of them were literally getting stuck every single moment, which was really sad because then the entire event kind of slows down for all of us. Moving on, we get back to this amazing little cottage that they have by the lake for lunch, and I mean there's great food and hospitality. Now coming back to hospitality, the food there was outstanding, like you would think, right? So they actually had flown in chefs from I don't know where into that place to actually serve us really good food. So we did an amazing mix of food, and it was really nice to see a couple of things that I noticed. There was the instructors always used to come and sit with us for lunch or dinner whenever we were having. So our group instructors used to come and sit with us. So tiny things would just go a long way, and it was just, when they say AMG is the world's fastest family, I'm not even joking, it actually was, because everyone there is a really small community. Everyone talks about cars. We're just literally talking about cars, morning to evening. Great fun. Moving on, finishing lunch, we off into the snow, again back into the AMG GT now. Out there, so second day, we do something called the AMG Action Parkour. Basically, it's a sort of like a mini version of like what Ken Block would probably do, but on snow. So we get to drive in all these cool cars, and they do us a little track where we basically do slaloms, then we do some drifts, and then we come and stop back in this box. Really cool stuff. So all of us did it, got through it. Heavy day, I'll tell you what, it's really difficult, but because on these conditions, when we're standing in, getting into the car, getting out of the car, it's really cold. Now when I say cold, it's genuinely really cold. Past all of this, eventually we had a really nice day 2. Now we're a bit tired now, so we basically call it a day. At the end of the day, come straight back into the bar again, and then we have a debrief. Day 4, guys. Honestly, by now, we're sort of excited and tired and frustrated and happy, all emotions at the same day, because we are out there literally driving. So we head out straight to the workshop and pick up the cars for the day. Where we get told, today we're doing something called the Nordschleife event, where we basically have a timing event. So basically whoever drives the car fast on the Nordschleife kind of adds up points to the main race of champions. Okay, well, I didn't know that actually those times are really important. Anyway, we get out on the track and we have a really amazing time where we were driving the AMG GTS with the traction control off. Mind you, traction control completely off. And we were hammering them down snow. And then, and this, genuinely, I'm not even joking, it was genuinely a smaller version of the actual Nürburgring Nordschleife track, where we turned out that we actually ended up having a bit of a lap record there. I didn't know this. Once we finished, we came back into the cabin again, had a lunch, bits and pieces over, get our stuff, back into the car. again, next we shifted into the A45 AMG. Now they brief us that next day is going to be something called the Race of Champions. What I'm talking about is both the groups, the fastest people from both the groups go head to head and do this little race thing, all right? And like a stadium event, which is really cool. And everybody gets to come and watch it and all that stuff, and fireworks, really cool stuff. So we basically get out with A45 and go do drifting training. And we do training, and it's one of the things I really love is you learn to drive these cars in such conditions with all the control, instability control, traction control, all the driver aids switched off, which gives you a lot more confidence in driving these cars every day coming back to it. So when we did our training for the next day's event, which is the Race of Champions, we finished the training for it, we head back to the lodge, and then we basically have a debrief where we get told who are the champions and who are not the champions, or who are eligible to progress to the next day, and who are also eliminated from these events. Like I said to you earlier, we had the badges, and whoever get too many stamps, and I think you had to get, if you got more than 5 stamps, you can't basically compete in any of the events, unfortunately. All of this excitement and action lands up to the final race with me against a German competitor in the A class. Both of us line up at the start line, and we have an amazing commentary by one of the instructors giving us literally live commentary. Mind you, by now we've had everyone in the area, or rather all our teams and all the Mercedes-Benz crew, waiting in cars watching this entire event. So it was kind of a public event as well. So it really added a lot of drama, I suppose would be the right word to it. As we line up, we get 2 laps around these ovals, basically ovals against each other, and we take off. First lap, he's a little ahead of me. Second lap, and I start catching up, and literally, I don't know what I did and how I did it, but eventually I was faster than him, and then I eventually won. Now the finish line was something spectacular, which I had no idea what to expect, because as I crossed the finish line, as I literally crossed the finish line, the race was really close, mind you. The German guy was literally maybe a second or half a second behind me, so it was a really close finish. As we crossed the finish line, fireworks literally came out of nowhere, and by now I had no idea what was going on, because I was so petrified and I was panicking in the car, just wishing and hoping that we would win. And I genuinely at that point still did not know whether I won or I lost.